Now, joining us from Jericho is Abdel Nasser Makki, who is a political science professor. And joining us from Paris is Majid Bouden, who is an international law professor. Welcome to both of you. Thank you. We'll start with you, Dr. Makki. So despite Israel's escalation in Gaza City, as well as that, I mean, Israelis are still continuing to demonstrate. They're demanding a ceasefire and a detainee deal. What do you make of this disconnect between the occupation army's actions and Israeli public sentiment as far as we can see?
Yes, I think from the beginning, the 7th of October, about the detainees, that's the case. The family of the detainees started to make, that demonstration in Israel in many places. Today, now, they make a demonstration on one of the main road in Israel, which Ayalon Road, which, that's across the road between the north and the south of Israel. So they continue in order to demand for have a deal between Hamas and between the government of Israel. As you know, the government of Israel until now, as Hamas accepted the Uchkof plus, that proposal, but until now, yesterday, Netanyahu said that he didn't say no or he didn't say yes, but he said that he will send, that negotiation to Doha and preconditions, and this precondition, as he said, it will be like impossible conditions to continue the negotiation with Hamas in Doha, because he put five principles, that's factors to go to this deal, and these five principles is impossible to be implemented and also to be accepted by Hamas. So now we see that there is two sides in Israel. The government, extreme government, until now they didn't respond or fully respond, and the demonstration of the family which now continue, and they requested tomorrow to have a big demonstration, and tonight and today also. While I think the problem in Israel now is that until now the opposition parties in Israel is not unity, and they are not saying one voice against Netanyahu government. So because of this, I don't think so now. Even the family, the detainees, until now they didn't reach to that's a big voice to stop an Israeli government, and that Israeli government should go to the deal with Hamas. So
okay, let's bring in Dr. Bouden in Paris, shall we? UN-backed hunger monitor today officially declaring that there is a famine in Gaza. That's official. The UN, of course, previously has warned of the horrific humanitarian impact if Israel pushes into Gaza City. So tell us what international law says about using starvation as a weapon.
The UN declaration is very important as an evidence for international law and before the International Court of Justice or before the International Criminal Court. This declaration is based on facts, and the facts are based on standards made for a long time by the United Nations and with the approval of all countries in the world. It means that when there is 20% of the population which cannot feed itself or be fed, or when there is a child out of 3 who is not able to feed himself, or when there is one person dying from starvation out of 10,000, then there is a famine. And this criteria, these standards are met here, and they are made, they are retained as facts by the United Nations, and the United Nations has mentioned that it's a planned, they are planned measures to achieve the goal, a military goal, which made that the military goal is a war crime, and it's a genocide, and we are now going to a crime against humanity. So, so this is important. because it's factually based and it's qualified under international law. The most urgent matter now is that states must go in an urgent way before the International Court of Justice and request an urgent decision from the ICJ to stop or to order Israel to stop continuing this deployment of this plan of making starve the population in the district of Gaza of the Palestinian state. So this is important, and the International Court of Justice has the power, has the authority to order such measures to be taken by Israel, and this is very probably will happen if a state will request the ICJ to issue this order. This order can be done within the case which is already pending with against Israel, or within the opinion, the advisory opinion. So the tools are there, the legal tools are there. People and countries must go before the ICJ again and make this request. With this request, when it is, it could be done in few hours or in few days to issue this order, and then go with this order, which is very probable that the order will be issued as directed by international law, and then go with this order to the Security Council and ask the Security Council not to make a resolution, because then we'll have a veto, but only to enforce this order. And until now, for the whole history of the Security Council, no state has ever used the veto against an order from or a decision from the International Court of Justice, for the simple reason that the Security Council is the executive and has no of the United Nations and has no authority to stop or to stop a decision from the International Court of Justice, or to delay it or whatever, or to not enforce it. So this is important for the Palestinian people, important even for Israel to not go further than that, and it's important for international law and for the international public order in this world. So it's important for peace. And this is it's a very crucial matter.
All right, I just want to bring back in Dr. Makki. So Israel said it will respond today to the ceasefire proposal presented by Egypt and Qatar, and that has been already accepted by Hamas. This is coming at the same time as the announcement by the Hunger Monitor from the UN about the famine, also whilst the start of the operation into Gaza City is beginning. How do you think Israel is going to respond?
I think, as I said before, the cabinet yesterday they met, and also Netanyahu today said that and declared that even his response was not obvious and clear, but he didn't want to say yes or no. So because of this, he said that Hamas should apply for the 5 principles that have been, that decided on the Israeli cabinet. One of the most important elements for this is that Hamas should not stay in Gaza, their leaders also, and also they should destroy Hamas. That means these things that have been, that's discussed in the cabinet, especially with the extreme government, it's something impossible and miracle to be even to accept by Hamas. And the other things that he didn't say yes, but he put it like, that to the meditators that he want to send his, that to negotiation to Qatar and to discuss this matter. This is something that Netanyahu is used to do like this from the beginning of the 7th of October. And because of this, there is a problem inside the Israeli society because until now, Netanyahu didn't send a good message to the Netanyahu family that he want to go ahead with this, obviously. But at the same time, the family of the Netanyahu, they know that Netanyahu is just want to stay in the government. He didn't want to accept what Hamas have been, that the proposal even of Witkoff have been accepted by Hamas. And this is, by the way, this is the Witkoff proposal is Israeli accepted from the beginning. And after that, now Netanyahu said that he wants to have a complete deal, not just partial deal. And even that, the Channel 13 in Israel said that the deputy of the negotiation in Doha, the Israeli Mr. Miller, said that when we go to Doha in our negotiation, in the last minutes, the condition will be changed. That's mean the Netanyahu government is not, they didn't want to go ahead with the deal and they just want to go ahead with go to Gaza. The other things that Channel 13 even in Israel said now that 5 times when there is to deal between Hamas and between Israel, the three main, that's in the government, Netanyahu, Smotrich, and Gavir, they refused to go ahead with the negotiation and to accept the deal 5 times. So now we see that there is a problem inside the society, the Israeli society, between the Netanyahu family and between the government level. But as I said before, the opposition Israel is not strong enough to stop this extreme government. They are not even unity like Ezenkot or Gantz or even Lieberman or Golani. All of them, they should, if they want to, to pressure or to make some impact to go to deal, I think they should be one unit voice against the government of Israel, which is extreme government.
Okay, coming back to you, Dr. Bouden. Germany has already halted arms exports to Israel. European leaders are condemning the Gaza City plan. International outrage is growing. Could we, do you think, ever see the start of some real sanctions against Israel?
I believe international community has reached a level today and that it cannot continue to not act in practical manner. The declarations are very important. The fact to not support what Israel is doing and to not be silent is very important, but now it's not sufficient. To call for the application of international law is important, and international law is the condition which is necessary, but it's not sufficient. Now the international community must move, and it will move. It's believed that it will move in few days or in few weeks to take measures against Israel, leaders of Israel, against Israel, by maybe for the European Union to suspend the commercial agreement between the EU and Israel is doing 30% of its trade and transactions with the EU, and also for the leaders to stop them from traveling, from possessing goods outside Israel and in the EU, and this measure will be taken. But this is also it's a first package of measures. More than that, they have to take sanctions on other levels, and the EU has the possibility to do it. Regarding the United States, which looks giving full support and unlimited support to Israel, this will change in somehow in the future. Why? It will change because the public opinion is growing on another side. Trump himself, he said that he cannot accept to see all what's happening in Gaza now with the starvation and with the killings. And as we have seen with the Ukraine, we have seen that the European Union has moved and has made Trump from its position in Anchorage, which was aligned on Putin, to another and to accept to be closer to Ukraine and to the EU. So there is a room here to make Putin move, and they have recalled Putin that they have recalled Trump that Putin was playing chess on a long-term base, while China is behind the scene playing Go and watching. But Trump was playing poker, which is a short-term game. So the Europeans has made Trump be conscious that he must move. And why Europe is doing that? Because Europe is needing now support of other countries than the European countries themselves. They need Brazil, they need South Africa, they need the Arab countries, they need other African countries, they need Latin American countries. They need them to support them in the Ukrainian war, because the Ukrainian war is on the European territories. And the Arabs must now move, and the Africans and the Latin Americans and the Asians must move together with the EU, and they can form a bloc to put pressure on Trump. And Trump then find himself that there is a need for him to change his position. And also Trump is making a deal, and to make a deal, he must win somewhere, and he can win with all these countries together. So the diplomacy is moving, but it's moving very slowly. And while the people are starving, and now with this new attack on Gaza City and other cities of the time is of essence now. And with the declaration of the EU on the starvation, nobody can say that that they are not aware. Because when the UN has made this declaration, it means that the UN has obtained, has informed, and they obtained the support of the member states, at least the most important member states. And so nobody can say, we did not know. Everybody knows, and when they know and they don't act, the omission to act is a crime and is a violation of international law, and nobody wanted to be held liable under international law, especially these countries, the US or the the European Union or other countries.
All right. Well, one person that definitely knows is Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz. Dr. Makki, defense minister says the gates of hell will soon open in Gaza City until Hamas agree to Israel's conditions for ending the war. What kind of language is that? The gates of hell will open on Gaza City. What do you think this is? This is tough rhetoric. Is it political theater? Is it exactly what Israel has been wanting to do all along?
Yes, I think this is the word of the hell to Gaza. It's from the beginning, from the 7th of October. We have about now 22 months, and we heard that this word, hell, especially from the Israeli leaders like Netanyahu, Katz, and also from the American, even Trump, the President Trump, he said like this. So I think this word by the Katz, the Minister of Defense, by the way, he doesn't have any experience in the army. But he is follow what Netanyahu has told him to do. So because of this, when he said like this, after that Hamas accepted this, and Netanyahu and his government was sure that Hamas will not accept it. So when Hamas accepted the Witkoff Plus proposal, now what they want to say, this government, and to send it to the message to the family of the detainees. They want to send the proposal again, and they want to blame Hamas. Because of this, they put the 5 principles that Hamas should accept these 5 principles. These 5 principles is impossible to accept it by Hamas, because this is something unrealistic by the government. but it's something impossible. And they want to say to the Israeli population that Hamas is, that is refused, not accepted, not the government of Israel. Why the government of Israel is not accepted from the beginning, and they put these five principles in order to be impossible and to be, that's refused by Hamas. So because of this, this is what Katz said, and now they prepare for this. They prepare for invasion Gaza city, and they treat it as, like he said, it will be like a hell. What they want to do is that they want now to surround Gaza city, and now they started before 1 week to even bomb the neighborhood of Gaza, like Sabra and Zaytun, neighbor in Gaza, and killing the people, and the starvation is continue. Today, as you know, that the
Okay.
United Nations observer said that there is a famine in Gaza, and that's mean this is something dangerous and seriously should be, that's
Okay.
discussed and should be ended in Gaza.
Okay, I'll just break in there because we haven't got too long left, and I want to bring Dr. Bouden back in. We were just showing some archive footage there, and it was Netanyahu standing in front of a board saying, "Open your eyes to Hamas lies." Now we know that the Netanyahu government does definitely lie. We know that for a fact. Classified Israeli data shows 5 out of 6 Palestinians killed have been civilians. This leak coming from Israel itself, so they know exactly what they're doing. What does that mean in terms of international law, Dr. Bouden?
It means that these killings were made on purpose, they were planned, and they were systematic. So the crime of war is established, is qualified under international law, and the genocide is qualified under international law. So we are not talking about war crime only, but about genocide now, because is the fact that there is an intention of cleansing, like in Sarajevo, and this is worse. In Sarajevo, it was just an act, which is a horrible act, but it was a single fact or a series of single facts. But here, it's massive. It's the genocide is established. Now, in practical terms, it's important that Hamas now must withdraw from the leadership and must at least put itself under the control of the Palestinian authorities, whatever the critics people has under these Palestinian authority, but at least to have an authority recognized by the world to negotiate. And Hamas must stop this to be playing with Netanyahu, because at the end of the day, Netanyahu will continue this massacre against the civilians, and Hamas will take a huge responsibility with Netanyahu in that. And now, what will happen when they are saying that they open the doors of hell, etc.? It means that they will continue to kill a big number of persons, and Netanyahu is not considering any accountability, any punishment. He thinks that he is out of reach, but under international law, one day or another, he will be taken by international justice. We have to remember, and he knows very well, that the ones that they have massacred the Jews under the Second World War, they have been reached by international law after that. And now he's massacring, he's killing people like that, but he will be reached. So now the international diplomacy must explain that, must take action, and the action must be taken in a quick way. There is an urgency, and urgency under international law means that there is an irreparable harm, and it means that this harm, which is the killing of people, cannot be repaired by money.
Yeah.
This is the criteria. The second criteria is that there is this harm is irreversible. When people, they cannot come back to life.
Well, we'll have to cut in there. It's been a fascinating discussion as always. Majid Bouden, international law professor in Paris, and Abdel Nasser Makki joining us as well, political science professor in Jericho. Thank you very much, both of you, for being here with us on Q News as always.